Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So as you can tell by today's title that I'm going to be unboxing my BOXYCHARM. And so I just got this in the mail and I wanted to sit down and film it with you guys. I was pretty excited to see what we got. I didn't get any spoiler alerts or see anybody's videos if there is any up. So I'm pretty excited to see what we got in the box today. So if you want to know what I got, then just keep watching. And the pricing. So I already did my face products, and I will link down below everything that I used. But it looks like we have a blush, and it's from Gellar. It's a really pretty color, and it retails for $28, and it's in the shade Tropic Hues, which I've never tried anything from Gellar. I don't think I have anyway, so I'm pretty excited that I got this in the box. And I don't own a lot of blushes, so especially not one that has a really nice sheen to it. And I'll just swatch it on the back of my hand. It looks like this. Looks like it would give you a really, really pretty flush of color to your cheeks. So I'm just going to take my Sephora Pro Angled Blush brush, which it's clean, it's just really stained because it's my favorite, really my only blush brush, but it's my favorite. And I'm just gonna swirl it in here, tap off the excess. It does come with like a little mirror inside, so that's helpful. And I'm just going to put it right on the apples of my cheeks and just kind of bring it back toward my hairline. It's a really pretty color, super pigmented. I think I got a little bit too much on this side, so let's see if I can diffuse that a little bit. But it's a really pretty color, and I feel like blush is just one of those things that just helps bring that color back into your face. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's a really pretty color. So that retails for $28. I don't know if I told you that or not. So next thing in the box is 3 brushes, and it's from Alamar Cosmetics. They retail for $18, and it looks like it has a flat pointer brush, a fluffy blender brush, and a flat tight liner brush. If I can talk today, it will be a miracle. But I figured we could use these today to apply our eyeshadow. And this is what the brushes look like. Really pretty green and gold. Never a combo you see together. And I actually do have the Alamar palette from the previous BOXYCHARM. And I love that palette. I think it's really pretty. I love the blues in there. So I'm excited that they keep adding more from this brand. So I've never tried anything from Pretty Vulgar before, so I was excited to see that this is the eyeshadow palette that we got in this month's BOXYCHARM. I've tried their eyeliner that's in a pot that was in a previous BOXYCHARM, so it seems like there's a recurring theme of brands that have been in the box before. Not that I'm mad, because it's always great to try out different things from different cosmetic lines, and especially something that's a little bit more pricier. Like I said, this retails for $35 in Sephora, so I think it's pretty awesome that they put this in the box this month. So it looks like we're going to do a everyday sort of look. You could actually take this and make it into a nice little smoky eye, you know, to convert it from a daytime to a nighttime palette. So that's always cool to have multi-use out of a palette. So I'm going to prime my eyelids and set them off camera, and then we'll come back and dive into the eyeshadow palette. So I just zoomed you guys in a little bit. I primed my eyelids with my CoverGirl lid lockup, and then I set it with like this bone white shade here called Nocturnal. The only one that I didn't really care much for was the Break Free, which is like a white glitter infused eyeshadow. It was pretty rough when I first swatched it. That's it there. And I don't know if you guys can see the glitter inside it or not. So I did have to go in and rub my finger into these darker matte shades just to kind of build up the pigment, but other than that, there wasn't hardly any fallout. I will say these first 3 shades here did have a hard time showing up on my skin tone, so hopefully that won't be a problem when I apply them to the eyelid. So, okay, so I think I'm going to start with this Hide and Seek light brown in my crease. I'm going to use my Morphe M441. I think I'm going to use this Alamar Cosmetic blending brush with like my second or third crease shadow, just because if you can tell, the bristles are a little bit longer and more compacted than my Morphe one, and I do prefer to go in with something a little bit more fluffier as my initial crease color, just because I have hooded eyes, so I have to really blow out that crease color in order for you to really see it on my eye shape. So I'm going to use this brush first, but I will use the brushes that came in this month's BOXYCHARM. So I'm just going to dip in there. Not a lot of fallout. Tap it off. I will say this is a pretty nice mirror, so it should be good for traveling. Not too bulky. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is showing up quite nicely. And I really like to focus this right above where my natural crease is, just like I said, because I have hooded eyes. So I like to blow that out pretty far up toward the eyebrow. Okay, so now that I got that crease shade built up, it's a really pretty color. It shows up, it's more of like a cool tone brown. But next I'm going to go into Flip Out, and I'm going to take that Alamar Cosmetics blender brush and just dip into it. And I'm going to focus this more in the outer V and lower down into the crease. I don't know if you can see, but that is really pigmented. But I just like to do circular motions on the outer V or outer corner, and then windshield wiper to take the rest of that product into my crease, right into the socket of my crease. Alright, once I got that brown exactly where I want, I'm going to go back in with my initial brush in that crease shade, and I'm just going to blend out those harsh lines that darker brown has left. And just bear with me, it always looks a mess until the very end when it all comes together. But I just like to go back over there with that initial crease color just to blend out those harsh lines. And like I said, I do gotta take my colors a little bit further up into the crease, or further up above the crease, just so that when I'm looking head on, they are visible above. Alright, so next I'm going to take my Morphe 433 and go into Swoop, which is this dark brown down here in the bottom corner. I'm just going to dap my brush in there and tap it off. And I'm going to really focus this just down in the outer corner. I don't really want to take this too far into my crease. I don't want to make it muddy. But so far, these eyeshadows are blending perfect together. They're not patchy, they're not becoming muddy. You can tell a difference between the shades. But so far, I'm liking this palette. It's really pretty. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up the outside with some powder and to catch any fallout that we might have with the shimmer shades. And I went ahead and used the flat brush to cut my crease. I really like this for cutting the crease. It's nice and firm, and I have more control over how far into the crease I can go and just really get in there. So I really like that for cutting the crease. So I think I'm going to take I Spy, this one here. It's a really pretty dark shimmery brown, and I'm going to put it on the outer half of my eye right here in the middle where it meets that dark matte brown. And I'm going to use that flat brush that I used to cut the crease to pick it up. As you can see, it picks up a lot out of the palette. So I'm just going to tap that off. Sorry about that. Now I'm just going to really pack it. And I don't want to go too far in because I am going to put another color on the inner part of my eye. And then I'm just going to take the brush with whatever's left over and just really blend those two colors together. And it looks something like that. It's a really pretty cool tone brown. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to the other eye. And I didn't have to wet these shadows or anything. And I know the concealer really helped bring out the color, but even then it's still really pretty shimmer eyeshadow. So that's what that looks like. And then I think I'm going to take Clutch, which is this really pretty light brown, and I'm just going to put it there on the inner part where I didn't put the darker shade. And it picks up a lot too. And there is some fallout in the pan, but on the bottom of my eyes I don't see any. So that's really good. You just never know with some eyeshadow palettes whether it's okay to go ahead and do your face makeup first or if it's better to do it last. Okay, so that shade isn't as pigmented as I would like for it to be. I mean, you can see that it's there, but it's not exactly what I thought it was going to look like. So it doesn't give off much brown as it does in the pan. So that's a little bit of a letdown. And so that's what I have so far. And I think I'm just going to sweep off that powder. And go ahead and work on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take that flat definer detail brush. And I'm going to dip back into Swoop, that dark brown. And I'm just going to really focus this close to the lash line and connect it up into that outer corner color. And just really keep this color close. I don't like to drag down dark colors too far down just because I feel like it really closes off my eye. And then I think I'm going to take my Eco's Tool Accent Shadow. I love to use this to really smudge out my eyeshadow. I'm going to take that flip out color. So I'm pretty much just mimicking what I did in the crease down below. But I'm going to take that and I'm going to blend out that harsh line from that first color. Okay, now I'm just going to take my e.l.f. eye crease brush. I like to take my initial crease color with this and just really help smoke out that color. And really help diffuse any harsh lines that we may have missed. So it should look something kind of like this. Okay, so I just went ahead and took Nocturnal and a little bit of Pillow Fight, which is like a light champagne-y, like brown color. And I put that in my my brow bone highlight in my inner corner highlight. So that is the eyeshadow palette done. I don't know if I would spend $35 on this just because I feel like I have other eyeshadows that do just the same, perform just the same. I will keep playing around with it though. The shimmer shades I'm not too impressed with. The mattes did really well. But that's how I feel about that. So on to the next, I have the Butter London Stroke of Wow Roll-On Precision Liner. So this also came in the box. And it's one of those roller wheel eyeliner situations, which I've never tried an eyeliner like this before. And I am super scared. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's not very, I don't know, doesn't seem like you can use it as precisely as you would a felt tip eyeliner. So I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to perform. Okay, you guys, this is a big no. Pass all the way around. So the eyeliner is pretty thick today. It's super shiny. I don't know if you can see that. It just gets so much product onto the actual applicator. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not the best at wing liner, but this just made me feel like I had way too many drinks and trying to reapply. I just don't like it. Hard pass. Don't recommend. Not a fan whatsoever. So hopefully applying some mascara and lashes will cover up this catastrophe. Okay, so lashes are on. I put on my Ardell Wispies in black. I'm not very good at applying false eyelashes, so don't judge them too harshly. But I tightline with my 24/7 Urban Decay eyeliner. Love this stuff to tightline with. Only pencils that I can seem to find that don't transfer from my waterline to, or my tightline to my waterline, and it just wears really, really good throughout the day. And then in my waterline, I applied the Mr. Bean Color Pop eyeliner. Love this when I do like browns like this, just to really bring that out in the eyeshadow. And then for mascara, I use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Absolutely love this mascara. I can see why it gets all the hype. I also forgot to mention that the eyeliner retails for $19. Just too busy flabbergasted over how awful this eyeliner is. But anyways, moving on. I got the Hank and Henry liquid lipstick, and it retails for $17, and it's in the shade Petal Pusher. And the neat thing about this is it looks like what you would think a lipstick looks like in the bullet, but really it untwists into a doe foot. Looks like a really pretty pinky color. I'm not too big into these kind of colors, but yeah. So that's what that looks like. So I'm pretty excited to see how this dries down, if it dries down at all. I don't know if I necessarily pair this lipstick with this eyeshadow, but it's what we got in our box. So I'm going to apply it. This doe foot is really, I don't want to use the word fuzzy, but fuzzy. It's not very stiff. It's pretty malleable. I probably should use the lip liner for this, but it's not super liquidy. Feels like it's going to, it dries really fast. Not super sticky, which I appreciate. It looks like it's going to dry down matte. It's not really it's not really showing off the fine lines and cracks that I have in my lips. I do have really dry lips. And matte liquid lipsticks, some tend to bring that out. But this one is really pretty. And it makes my teeth look really white. So that's what that looks like. Really pretty. It's a little sticky. I don't know if you can tell. So I'm curious to see if that dries down or what. Not a big deal breaker. Doesn't really bother me all that well or all that much. Yeah, so far pretty impressed. Never heard of this brand before. If any of you guys have ever tried this, let me know what you guys like from them down in the comments below. Alright, you guys, so that's everything we got in the box this month. I'm gonna do a little quick rundown of what I like and what I didn't like in this month's box. So the eyeshadow brushes, love them, will definitely use them. I love getting brushes in the box. I'm not someone who has a whole bunch. This is pretty much all the brushes I have. I bought this off BH Cosmetics, by the way. But definitely going to be using those more. Next, we all know how I feel about this thing. No go, no thank you. The lipstick, I think I'm going to enjoy very much. So far, so good. Definitely glad we got that. Loved the blush. Loved the glow it gives my cheeks. The flush of color it brings back in here. I'm curious to see how long it lasts throughout the day. But definitely a yes for me. And the eyeshadow palette. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm curious to see how well they last throughout the day. Definitely going to play around with it some more. Like I said before, the shimmer shades not really my my favorite. They don't really show up on the eye like they do in the pan. The mattes did just fine applying. They didn't, you know, go patchy. They blended real well together. They didn't go muddy. So I'm definitely going to play around with a couple. I think this is another shimmer, and then this one. So I'm going to play around with it some more. Definitely curious to see what other looks I can get out of this. This isn't a typical look. I've actually never done this kind of color eye before, so pretty happy how it turned out for the most part. But yeah, guys, that's all I have today. So if you are wanting to see anything else from me, if there's something you guys are wanting me to review, you know, whatever it may be, just leave it down in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and hit that notification bell as well so you're notified every time that I upload a video. So until then, see you next time. Bye.